The money magnet. It is only with gratitude that life becomes rich. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, 1906 to 1945, Lutheran pastor. Gratitude is riches and complaint is poverty. It's the golden rule of your whole life. Whether it's your health, job, relationships, financial freedom, or business, or money. The more grateful you can be for the money you have, even if you don't have very much, the more riches you will receive. Again, a very powerful statement, right? So powerful. The more grateful you can be for the money you have, even if you don't have very much, the more riches you will receive. And the more you complain about money, the poorer you will become. बिंदास कह रही है. बिंदास बोले तो बिंदास. एकदम. And the more you complain about money, the poorer you will become. सोचते भी नहीं है, बस बोल दिया, डरा दिया. Today's magical practice turns one of the biggest reasons people complain about money into an act of gratitude. And so it has double the power to change the circumstances of your money. You will be replacing a complaint which makes you poorer with gratitude. So complaint ko gratitude se replace karne ko she's saying, which magically brings you riches. Want me to read it again? Okay. Today's magical practice turns one of the biggest reasons why people complain about money into an act of gratitude. And so, which means the biggest reason that we may have to complain about money, we are converting it into an act of gratitude. Now, this definitely isn't easy. I agree. It's not. And so, it has double the power to change the circumstances of your money. You'll be replacing a complaint which makes you poorer with gratitude, which magically brings riches. Most people wouldn't think they complain about money. But if there is a lack of money in their life, they are complaining about realizing it. Complaining happens through people's thoughts as well as their words. And most often, people aren't aware of many thoughts in their head. Any complaining, negative, jealous, or worried thoughts or words about money are literally creating poverty. दिल में मन में इतना भी अगर सोचा, ओ बिजनेस क्लास तो कितना एक्सपेंसिव है, इतना भी सोचा, सिंपल चीज, और या वो गाड़ी माप रहे, इट्स टू एक्सपेंसिव, और समथिंग लाइक आई कांट अफोर्ड इट, it just becomes a complaint. Okay. Okay. Most people wouldn't think they complain about money, but if there is a lack of money in their life, they are complaining without realizing it. Complaining happens through people's thoughts as well as their words, and most people aren't aware, myself included, of the many thoughts in their head. Any complaining or negative, jealous, or worried thoughts or words about money are literally creating poverty. There is one complaining, negative, jealous, or worried thought. If it is not complaining, it's negative. If it's not negative, it is worried. If it is not worried, it's jealous. Oh, others can afford it. For me, it's a little expensive. हमें तो पता भी नहीं किसी का फिर भी. All this, she is saying, Rhonda Byrne is saying, creates poverty. Bolo. And of course, the biggest complaints come when money has to be paid out. whether it's a doctor, whether it is a checkup, whether it's a homeopath, whether it is an allopath, whether it is for milk, whether it is a salary, whether it is gaadi dhone wala also. And of course, the biggest complaints come when money has to be paid out. If you don't have enough money, paying your bills can be one of the most difficult things to do. Now, this again is a very relative sentence, right? If you don't have enough money. Haven't we heard the wealthiest people often saying, it's too expensive, I don't have enough money? I've been a jeweler for 43 years, diamond jewelry, and mine was the high end one. Okay, Art Deco, Art Nouveau style, emeralds, Colombian old mine emeralds, Burma rubies, and so obviously there was one caliber of people who were my clientele, right? And they would, if they would say, I don't have enough money, it would often sound a bit of a joke, right? And yet we use these sentences. So it's again such a relative phrase what she has used. If you don't have enough money, paying your bills can be one of the most difficult things to do. It can seem like there is a greater stream of bills than there is money to pay for them. The bills are more than the money which you have to pay for all of them. But if you complain about your bills, then what you are really doing is complaining about money. And complaining keeps you in poverty. If you don't have enough money, the last thing you would normally do is feel grateful for your bills. But in fact, that's exactly what you have to do to receive more money in your life. If you don't have enough money, the last thing you would normally do is feel grateful for your bills. How are we going to feel? Oh, MRI का बिल आया, thank you. CT scan का बिल भी आया, thank you. डॉक्टर के चेकअप्स का बिल आया, wow, wow, thank you. We can't be grateful to it. We are lying if we are saying we are grateful to the bills. चश्मा का बिल आया, ओ वेरी फोकल का 12,000 है, थैंक यू. लेंस क्राफ्ट, थैंक यू. क्या है भाई? It's not easy. It's not. If you don't have enough money, the last thing you would normally do is feel grateful for your bills, for your scans, for your checkups, for your kharchas, for a broken fan, for a broken WC. But in fact, that's exactly what you have to do to receive more money in your life, she's saying. That's exactly what you have to do to receive more money in your life. All this one weekend I went through. And here she says, actually, in fact, that's exactly what you have to do to receive more money in your life. So, someone who has written here, but how can you do that? It's very difficult. I agree, it is very difficult. लेकिन इतने पन्ने भरोगे ना तो शायद थोड़ा आसान हो जाएगा. थोड़ा. ओके? थोड़ा. मेरे लिए अब तक आसान नहीं है, तो आप सोच सकते हैं कि कितना ग्रैटिट्यूड करना पड़ेगा, कितनी पिट बना दी है. In fact, that's exactly what you have to do to receive more money in your life. To have a rich life, you must be grateful for everything to do with money. And begrudging your bills means grudging the bills is not being grateful. You must do the exact opposite, which is to be grateful for the goods or services you've received from those who build you. First of all, if you're holding cash, thank you so much, plumber ji. Thank you so much, bread वाले जी. आपको बहुत धन्यवाद. Thank you so much, computer sir. open my phone and see एक single payment without shukriya, gratitude for the and the item to the salon for the services received. ये इनसे हुआ है, Rhonda Byrne से. So to be grudging your bills is not being grateful. You must do the exact opposite, which is to be grateful for the goods or the services you have received from those who build you. It is such a simple thing to do, but it will have a monumental effect on the money in your life. You will literally become a money magnet. It took me a while to make that image, the magnet and the money rushing to it. वो भी डॉलर वॉलर भी नहीं डाला, मुझे रुपया डालना पड़ा. At that time I said, was so grateful to my phone, to the app which I bought for that, to make that creative. I made it on my own. It will literally become a money magnet. What will? Your gratitude. To be grateful for a bill, think about how much you benefited from the service or the goods on that bill. If you're paying for chess, sir, for your grandson, think about how he will make your grandson by teaching. If you're paying for a squash teacher, my daughter-in-law, my one of my best friends, paying best squash teacher in the world. Like me, I'm the best yoga teacher in the world. Literally, I am. There is no doubt about that. I'm the best breathwork exponent in the world. I truly think I'm the best. When I am paying something to a teacher, I have to first think about the service or the goods on that bill. When I was heading the travel and tourism thing in one of the places where I'm a member, we used to take one international, one domestic, and one 3-day tour. I was never comparing the amount. 1,30,000 for Vietnam, या 1,85,000 for Saigon, or 2 lakh for Santorini या ग्रीस टर्की का क्रूज, और कुछ भी नहीं. उसके साथ और क्या क्या है. फिर ऑप्शनल एक्सकर्जन अलग, खाना अलग, ये अलग, वो अलग. ये we don't see that. Are we seeing that? Even when we order something from Swiggy or something, it filters into something where it says filter by rate, filter by delivery time, filter by rating, which means best to least. Now, when you filter it by rating, the most popular ones will surely be the most expensive entrees. You understand that? We need to know that when we are paying more, we often get a better service too. You will literally become a money magnet. To be grateful for a bill, think about the service or the goods you have received. Don't only compare, मैं तो हल्दी ए भाव की लेती हूँ, या तिल का तेल वो भाव का लेती हूँ, या घी इस भाव का लेती हूँ. Don't compare that way. Compare it, तुलना करो तो even with the quality, even with the proximity, how near it is to the house, how much fuel you have to we burn fuel worth 400 500 rupees to get something which is cheap by 300 rupees. What's the point? To be grateful for a bill, think about how much you've benefited from the service or goods on that bill. If it's payment for rent or a mortgage, be grateful that you have a home and that you are living in it. What if the only way you could live in a home was by saving up all the money and paying cash for it? What if there was no such thing as lending institutions or places to rent? Most of us would be living on streets. So be grateful to the lending institutions. Be grateful to your landlord or because they have made it possible for you to live in a home or an apartment instead of complaining, I don't have a house of my own or my house is too small. She says instead, At least be grateful that you have a roof over your head. If you're paying a bill for gas or electricity, think about the heating or the cooling you received, the hot showers, and every appliance you were able to use because of the service. If you're paying a phone or internet bill, imagine how difficult your life would be if you had to travel vast distances to talk to each person individually. Think about how many times you've been able to call family and friends, send and receive emails, and access information instantly through the internet because of your service provider. All of these remarkable services are at your fingertips. So be grateful for them and be grateful that the companies trust you by providing their services before you have even paid for them. Ever since I discovered the phenomenal power of gratitude, I write the magic words thank you, paid, on every bill as I pay it, and I never miss a single one. At the beginning, when I didn't have the money to pay a bill, Rhonda Byrne was very poor, very, very poor. She's amongst one of the top billionaires of the United States now. So she writes that when I didn't have the money to pay a bill, I would still use gratitude's magical power and would instead write across the bill, thank you for the money. And then when I had the money to pay it, I would add, thank you, paid. Today you are going to do the same thing. Take any currently unpaid bills you have and use gratitude's magical power by writing across them, thank you for the money, and feel grateful for having the money to pay the bill, whether you have paid it or not yet paid it. If you receive and pay most of your bills online, then when you receive an online bill, forward it to yourself as an email or a WhatsApp message or an SMS and write in the subject line in capital or bold letters, thank you for the money. You can just send the same email or a WhatsApp message down and write thank you for the money. Next, find 10 bills you've paid in the past and write across the front of each one the magical words thank you paid. As you write on each bill, feel as grateful as you possibly can that you had the money to pay that bill. The more gratitude you can harness for the bills you've paid, the more money you will magically magnetize to you. Next, find 10 bills you've paid in the past and write across the front of each one the magic words thank you paid. As you write on each paid bill, I'm reading it again. Feel as grateful as you possibly can that you had the money to pay the bill. The more gratitude you can harness for the bills you've already paid, the more money you will magically magnetize to you. From this day forward, you could make it your regular practice that whenever you pay a bill, you briefly think about the great service you've received from the bill and write across the face of the bill the magic words thank you, paid. And if you don't have the money to pay the bill, this is very important. If you don't have the money to pay a bill, use gratitude's magical power and write thank you for the money and feel as if you are saying thank you because you have the money to pay the bill. Feeling gratitude for the money you've paid out guarantees you will receive more. Gratitude is like a magnetic golden thread attached to your money. Gratitude is like a magnetic golden thread attached to your money. So when you pay money out, the money always returns to you, sometimes equally, sometimes tenfold, like it happened with me today, sometimes 100-fold. The abundance you receive back depends not on how much money you give, but on how much gratitude you give. You could have so much gratitude when you pay a bill for $50 that you could receive back hundreds of dollars. The money magnet. First, again, count your blessings. We will write this together, okay? Make a list of 10 blessings. Try to keep it bill related. उसके सामने आपको एक सर्विस मिली. What she's writing here, you saw, no? चलो, let's start with that. It'll make life easier. See this? है ना? उसके सामने you got some service. Yeah, see, to be grateful for a bill, think about how much you've benefited from the service. So write about mine and think how much did you benefit. So take an example of magic book and think about what service you got. Or think about paying for an allopathic medicine when you had a bad cough, cold, congestion, and you went to say नोबल केमिस्ट या कहीं से मंगा ली दवा एंटीबायोटिक जो भी हो सपोज ऑगमेंटिन 625 थैंक यू ऑगमेंटिन 625 थैंक यू नोबल केमिस्ट थैंक यू उस बिल के ऊपर लिखिए अगर बिल नहीं है ना तो एक फेक बिल या पेटीएम या गूगल पे से किया है वहां पे लिखिए दैट्स व्हाट शी इज सेइंग बिकॉज यू बेनिफिटेड फ्रॉम द सर्विस either you got those or you got that pyre or you got that hapus or you got those chocolates or you got that Father's Day cake or you got that head massage झाड़ू लिया तो भी वो खरीदा उसके लिए ग्रोसर को थैंक यू तिल का तेल for the service foot massage facial Bijal ka 1-to-1 or the goods the outfit, the handbag, the shoes, the earrings. Write it on that bill. Now, again, I repeat, which I repeat many times. She's written this book 38 years back. So, we are not talking all the time about hard copies. Even I send you all e-invoices, right? Most of them are e-invoices. It's automatically generated either by Tag Mango or Razorpay. You got it? So you can just write on in your book also. For the goods or the services received. 10. लिखिए. Let's write. लिखो बाबा लिखो. भर दो pages. Write why you are grateful. Reread your list tomorrow morning. And at the end of each one say thank you, thank you, thank you. And feel as grateful for that blessing as you can. Take any current unpaid bill you have. Use gratitude's magical power and write across each one. इस हर एक चीज में और फिर देखिए जादू बंद ही नहीं होगा. Every cell of yours will start being grateful. And so many people say, yeah, I'm very grateful for everything, but I'm not writing. Will not work. You'll need to write. Write across all those bills. Thank you for the money. Feel grateful for having the money to pay that bill, whether you have it or not. Or put the money in a lifafa. Yesterday, day before, we paid money to the musicians. We paid money in our singing kitty. You got it? In one of our Rotary Shukriyas. We paid money, right? Day before, we are part of singing group. तो डाला लिफाफे में I put it and big thank you. Tomorrow's I made one of my kitty money. Thank you, Bijal Doshi, for the money. मतलब वो पैसा तो है वो देने को वो जब किटी निकलेगी तब पूरे उसके 96 गुना आएंगे 96 मेंबर्स है उस किटी में तो फिर Feel grateful for having the money to pay the bill whether you have it or not. To feed the pigeons. Karma to kamana hi hai. Karma is above the gratitude's money. Take 10 bills you've paid in the past and write across the front of each one of them the magic words thank you, paid, thank you, paid, thank you, paid. अगेन आई एम टेलिंग यू, ये रिपीट कर रही हूँ. रिपीट करने की आदत मुझे बहुत है नहीं, बिकॉज आई टेल माई कम्युनिटी ऑल्सो डोंट रिपीट. But everything from the magic book I keep repeating. The only two things I am allowed to repeat is breath work because I'm a teacher, mentor, magic book, and the only thing which you all are allowed to repeat is your mantra. If you're into chanting or something, bus. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and this mantra. Feel truly grateful that you had the money to pay the bill. You had the money to pay my bill. Before you go to sleep, take your magic rock in one hand and say the magic words, thank you for the best thing that happened to you during the day. You all are too busy writing, so I don't want to disturb you all, okay? You all are really busy today. Yesterday in our singing program, I just told my husband, I called him on the side. I said, listen, the sandwiches, no, the bread is amazing, but inside there is hardly any butter or chutney. So do one thing. This is very funny. The गाठिया जलेबी का जो वो पपीता का मिक्स है ना, वो उसमें बीच में डालो और चाय के साथ लो, आपको बहुत मजा आएगा वो टी ब्रेक में. Because he was singing, so he needed a hot beverage and something. Anyone else would have said, sandwich is shit. I promise you. Or this is junk. Because that bread was genuinely superb. Even if you want to tell a friend something or a child something, sandwich that comment. Don't call it a weakness or a criticism. Between two compliments. This is the difference when you do this.